Hi, my name is Linda and I'm an associate trainer in Denmark. With me today is my 10-year-old mare, Amaze. Amaze has some issues, and among them is kissing spine. In this session, I'm trying to bring her up into a little bit of a working frame, and then I want to see if I can get her back into a deep stretch. I'm also in this session trying to canter her for the first time in almost 4 years. The session was actually longer. I had the solo shot videotaping us, but it wasn't tracking very well. So I had to ask my husband to come and videotape some of the session. So before this work, Amaze has been lunge, which I'm always doing before I ride her, and I have been working her for about, I guess, 5 minutes or so. It's a little bit windy today, so and she's responding to that, but she's doing okay. So here I'm trying. I wanted her to leg yield, but she was a bit tense. There were some neighbors just walking by, so I just stopped and let her stretch down again. And I always want to get the feeling of that deep stretch before I try to bring her up into a higher frame. So I bring her up here, and I keep my legs on, and I try to keep my hands forward, and then I try to feel the contact in her mouth, and when I have a good contact, I let her back into a stretch. I want to see if she wants to follow that contact when I'm letting the reins out, or give her a longer reins. And yes, again, sometimes I'm just putting my legs on a little bit and she will come up, and I use that to try to establish a contact in a higher frame. And when I get the feeling that I have a good contact, then I would try to let the reins back out again and see if she wants to follow that. And she does here. And sometimes if she's coming up on her own, I'm also trying to see if I can get the contact to her mouth, and then when I have a good contact, I want to try to get her back into a stretch. I'm working this horse mostly in a deep stretch. Here I'm bringing her up again, and I want her to follow the contact back down, but I did not get a good enough contact before I let the reins out, so it takes me longer to get her to stretch deep. But she's stretching here. And so I pet her, but I wanted to bring her up also because I'm want to get her into the trot. And she's always a little bit fussy in the beginning of the trot. Before she would, it would take about a minute or two before she would relax and begin to stretch. And now it only takes about a circle. So when I want to bring her up into a higher frame, I always try to remember to put my legs on first, and then I shorten my reins, and I want to see if I can get that good feeling to her mouth. And so here I'm bringing her up, and she will try to curl back and raise her head too high, and then I just try to feel for the contact, and when I get that, I try to let her back down into the stretch. So here I'm bringing her up again, and she's actually doing quite good, keeping the rhythm, and so I let her back into a stretch. I think it's important to be able to combine the higher frame with the deep stretch. I think it's a way to really develop the horse's muscles. And so here again I'm trying to see if I can establish the contact in a higher frame, and she starts to run, and then she settles in, and it seems to be pretty nice. And she doesn't stretch as consistent as I expected, so I asked her to step under, and she doesn't really respond, so I put the whip on, and I get a little of a overreaction. So here we are going back to the walk, and next step is the canter. I've seen her in the lunch line when I've asked for canter. She is beginning to stretch a little bit. She is not consistent, but she's stretching, and after the canter she's trotting much better. So I've been thinking about trying that when I'm riding her. And so that's what we are doing today. And I've been a little bit curious about what it would be like, because it's been 4 years since I've been asking for canter. She has been jumping into canter on her own a few times when I've asked for more activity in the trot, but she's only been able to sustain it for a few strides, and I've never tried to push her for more. So in a moment I'm asking for it. And so before I'm bringing her up into a little bit of a higher frame, and then I ask for the trot, and then I give the 8 for the canter, and I'm actually surprised that she's responding so well. But in the canter I'm thinking, oh no, this is not good. She's completely hollow, and I have to stop when we get to the end of the arena. But then it felt like she was relaxing, and the canter began to feel different. So I decided to just try to keep it for a couple of circles. And I'm staying in a 2-point position because I know she can't handle me sitting on her back. Not yet. And I've seen in the lunch line that it improved the trot, and it is. So you can see here that the trot is much better after the canter. That was actually what I was looking for. So I was really pleased with this. And I get way too emotional when this horse does something that she haven't done for years, and I should not just stop and pet her, but I'm actually just really surprised that I can ride her, and now I've tried the canter, so I'm so happy. And yeah, so this was our short little session. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching us. See you next time.